Each year, there are hundreds of Bigfoot sightings across the country. Some people devote their lives to the pursuit of the creature. While there's no conclusive proof Bigfoot exists, when some new evidence pops up, you can bet we're going to check it out.
The team thought tracking Bigfoot would lead to a discovery, but following it turned out to be their biggest mistake. Here's what happened when they went too far in, face to face with the giant. It started with a haunting sound that rang through the forest, making one thing crystal clear. Bigfoot isn't just a story. This creature is real, and its presence is far more threatening than anyone could have imagined. As the team of researchers went deeper into the woods, they knew they had entered forbidden territory. They were following the trail of Bigfoot, a creature people had long feared, but never proven real. But what if, on this expedition, they came face to face with the very being they were tracking? For those who love walking alone in the woods, this might give you second thoughts. While many dismiss Bigfoot as a myth, there are still unexplained clues, massive footprints, strange sightings, and unsettling feelings of being watched. Some campers have even woken up to find giant footprints surrounding their tents, confirming their worst fears.
Is that a bear, maybe?
Check this out.
Look at that.
I think we found a handprint.
Holy.
In August of 2019, a man named Doug Teague from Hickory, North Carolina, went into the woods near his home to check his trail cameras. He had his dog, Crazy Daisy, by his side. What started as a normal day quickly turned into one of the most frightening experiences of Doug's life. The forest was unusually quiet that day. Then, a strange, rhythmic knocking sound echoed through the trees. It wasn't natural. It felt deliberate, like something, or someone, was trying to get Doug's attention. Suddenly, he saw it. Tall, covered in tangled fur, and standing against the trees, this creature was nothing like Doug had ever seen before. Its broad shoulders and strong legs made it look powerful, almost threatening. Doug's heart skipped a beat. This wasn't a bear or any normal animal you'd find in North Carolina. It was something completely different, something out of a nightmare. As Doug stood there, trying to understand what he was seeing, the creature began to move. It turned, its powerful body sending a chill down Doug's spine. And then, it started throwing rocks in his direction. The stones landed close to Doug, as if the creature was warning him to back off. Doug knew he had to leave, but he couldn't stop filming. With his camera still rolling, Doug captured every second of this terrifying encounter. The message was clear. He wasn't welcome there.
Looks like he's looking over top of that stump. Look at him. He's moving.
Later on, Doug would return to the exact spot where his encounter took place, only to find massive footprints. These prints were much larger than those of any human or known animal. Realizing the importance of what he had discovered, Doug made casts of the footprints, preserving them as solid evidence of what he had witnessed that day. Some called it the Sister Lakes creature. Many of these creatures, people noted, had fur covering their entire face, unlike the typical descriptions of Bigfoot from other regions. Experts suggested this might be the eastern Bigfoot, a variation of the creature. One expert in human history even proposed the creature Doug saw could have been over 15 feet tall. It was a shocking claim, but the size of the footprints certainly supported that theory. However, not everyone was convinced. Some skeptics believed the prints and the video footage were tricks of the environment or misinterpretations. Others, though, saw Doug's video as evidence of something truly extraordinary.
Describe to me that moment, just emotionally, just
Like a giddy school kid. This nervous, heart beating, it was crazy.
Was Doug Teague the person who had finally captured real proof of Bigfoot's existence? Or were the thick woods of North Carolina playing tricks on him? The debate raged on, but Doug's encounter was only the beginning. In 2020, another adventurer had a similar experience, this time in California's San Gabriel wilderness. While enjoying the beautiful landscape, the explorer noticed something strange between the trees. A massive figure, possibly 10 to 15 feet tall, stood motionless, casting a long shadow. No previous sightings had ever been reported in this area, but the footage seemed convincing. Just 2 years earlier, in 2018, a different hiker in the San Bernardino Mountains also reported a strange sighting. She saw a large shape in a tree. At first, it looked like just a shadow, until it moved. When the figure turned its head, the hiker was certain. It wasn't just a shadow, it was a Sasquatch. These encounters, from Doug's in North Carolina to sightings in California, raise one big question. Are we closer than ever to proving the existence of Bigfoot? Or are these sightings just tricks of the wilderness? For those who have come face to face with these creatures, the answer is all too real. Everest's frozen secrets. Even more surprising than modern sightings are the ones from decades ago, like in 1951 when a legendary discovery was made high up on Mount Everest. That year, at an altitude of 19,000 feet, well-known explorer Eric Shipton came across something that would leave the world guessing for decades: a single, massive footprint in the snow. The footprint measured 13 inches long and looked like it belonged to a giant primate. The harsh, freezing conditions at that height made it almost impossible for any known animal to survive, let alone leave such a perfect mark in the snow.
Find any footprints at such high altitude was simply inexplicable, so high above the tree line and so high above any human habitation.
Shipton knew he had found something remarkable. He quickly took a photograph, placing his ice axe next to the footprint to show its size. The image became iconic, fueling years of debate about what kind of creature could have made such a print. Many believed this was evidence of the legendary Yeti, a mysterious ape-like being said to roam the Himalayas. Others were more skeptical, but the debate raged on as this mysterious footprint turned into a legend of its own. Driven by curiosity, Shipton followed the tracks deeper into the ice, hoping to find more clues. But just as mysteriously as they appeared, the footprints vanished, leaving Shipton with nothing more than the tantalizing evidence he had already captured. Although he never saw the creature himself, his discovery sparked global interest in the possibility of strange, unknown beings living in the harshest corners of the world. But Shipton's story isn't where the search for these elusive creatures ends. Years later, in 2015, the mystery took a new twist in an entirely different part of the world, deep in the thick forests of northern Illinois. A man, simply searching for mushrooms, made an eerie discovery. While walking through the dense foliage, he noticed a large footprint, about 12 inches wide, pressed into the soft ground. What made it even stranger was that part of the print seemed to be missing, almost as if something had taken a bite out of it. Nearby, another footprint was partially filled with water, adding to the bizarre scene. Confused and fascinated by what he had found, the man decided to film the scene and share his discovery online. What followed was a heated debate, with people questioning the authenticity of the footprints. The discussion became so intense that he made a follow-up video to explain his findings in more detail. The video caught the attention of the History Channel, adding to the mystery and speculation. Despite the growing interest and expert opinions, no one could agree on the true nature of the footprint.
Footprint evidence, the casts that were recovered from this site, I would be very convinced of the credibility of the film. The Sasquatch has retained the more primitive characteristic of a very flexible instep, a mid-foot flexibility.
Just like Shipton's encounter on Everest, this modern discovery kept people wondering, could there really be creatures hiding in the wild, far beyond human understanding? Whether it's the icy slopes of Everest or the forests of Illinois, the search for answers continues. But this wasn't the strangest part of the search for Bigfoot. The strangest search. In 2021, a passionate Bigfoot enthusiast named Lee Brickley ventured into the Cannock Chase Forest in Staffordshire, England, a place known for its eerie sightings and strange occurrences. Lee, determined to find hard evidence, came upon something remarkable. Enormous footprints, each about 41 centimeters long, nearly twice the size of a human foot, and far too large for any local animal. The discovery sent a chill down his spine, as he began to wonder if he was following the trail of a creature no one had ever seen. Just a month later, when Lee returned to the forest, things took a much darker turn. He came across a gruesome sight: a deer, its throat savagely torn open, with deep bite marks across its body. This chilling discovery hinted at the presence of a dangerous creature lurking in the forest, something far wilder than any known animal. The clues kept mounting, deepening the mystery of what could be hiding in those woods. Each footprint, each strange sighting only stirs up more questions. It makes the line between myth and reality even blurrier. It's as if the world is reminding us that there are still hidden corners filled with secrets, waiting to be uncovered. In Cannock Chase, large scratches ran down the side of a tree, suggesting a creature far bigger than any animal known in the area. Since 2019, strange sightings in the forest had become more frequent, but this one felt different. The evidence pointed to something dangerous, hiding in the shadows of the dark woods, something unlike anything ever recorded before. And it wasn't just in England. In cold Siberia. In 2013, across the cold, remote areas of southern Siberia, 3 Russian students were exploring when they came across something unexplainable. Armed with only their mobile phones, they managed to snap blurry yet unsettling photos of a massive figure moving among the trees. They followed its tracks, getting as close as 50 feet away. The creature was huge, mysterious, and appeared to be watching them. But just as they summoned the courage to move closer, the figure vanished into the thick Siberian forest, leaving behind only enormous footprints and a lasting sense of fear. Some thought it might be the legendary Yeti, while others believed it could be something even more mysterious. This only added to the growing legend and sparked more curiosity and fear across different parts of the world. Whether it's the snowy mountains of Everest, the dark forests of North America, or the eerie woods of England, all these stories share one thing in common: a powerful, elusive creature that stays just out of reach of human understanding. But the most surprising part is not just the sightings themselves. Whether you believe in Bigfoot or think these are just old tales, it's hard to ignore that strange things keep happening in these remote areas. The next time you find yourself alone in a forest, you might wonder, what could be watching from the shadows? These odd events in far-off places have always captured people's imaginations. The sighting in Siberia drew some attention, but it was a strange photo from North Carolina that really caught the internet's eye. A wildlife camera, set up deep in the forest, snapped a blurry image of a muscular shape. It didn't resemble any known animal in the region. That wasn't even the strangest part. The photo spread quickly online, sparking intense debates. Some believed it was proof of the legendary Bigfoot, while others thought it could be the mythical Dogman, a creature said to wander the area. Experts tried multiple times to enhance the image and reveal more details, but the creature's features remained unclear. Its large limbs and unusual posture only deepened the confusion. Some dismissed the image, claiming it was just a bear, pointing to the odd proportions. Others suggested it might be a large dog, or even a deer, although its shape didn't quite match any known animal. With no clear answer, the photo from North Carolina became a hot topic for debate. Was this an undiscovered creature lurking in the woods, or just another internet myth feeding people's imaginations? The strange sightings continue. Meanwhile, across the country in Michigan, another strange event took place in 2021, adding fuel to the ever-growing list of unexplained sightings. This time, a lone kayaker captured a video of a large, human-like figure crossing a river. The footage quickly made its rounds, stirring up fresh discussions and raising more questions. As the video spread, people began to wonder if this could be the undeniable proof Bigfoot believers had been waiting for. The creature's massive size, upright posture, and deliberate movements were hard to overlook. It wasn't behaving like any known animal in the area, and the way it moved left many fascinated. But, as with most cryptid sightings, skeptics were quick to jump in. They pointed out that the video, like so many before it, was blurry and unclear. It was tough to definitively say what was being captured on film. With each new sighting, the mystery only deepened. From strange footage in North Carolina to an eerie river crossing in Michigan, more questions kept emerging. Could these sightings be proof of extraordinary creatures hidden in the remote and rarely explored corners of our world? Or were they simply cases of mistaken identity, fueled by blurry footage and overactive imaginations? The curiosity didn't stop there. Across the ocean in the UK, another strange event unfolded, once again blurring the line between myth and reality. A nature lover named Woods had been living in a quiet forest, seeking peace in a simple shelter he built for himself. For months, he enjoyed the calm of the woods, until one day, he returned to find his shelter completely destroyed. His first thought was that it could have been local kids playing a prank, or maybe a wild animal rummaging through the area. Determined to get to the bottom of it, Woods decided to check his security camera footage, expecting a straightforward explanation. Maybe a deer or even a bear had wandered too close. But what he saw on the footage chilled him to the bone. It wasn't a group of teenagers or even a wild animal that had wrecked his shelter. Instead, the footage showed a large, shadowy figure moving swiftly through the area, too big to be a person and too strange to be any animal he recognized. The figure tore through the structure with alarming ease, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. As Woods watched the footage, he realized this encounter wasn't something he could easily explain away. Like many others before him, he had come upon something beyond explanation, an encounter with the unknown that left him with more questions than answers. Each strange sighting, from Michigan to North Carolina to the forests of the UK, seemed to bring humanity one step closer to uncovering the truth. Could these be actual creatures hiding in the depths of the wilderness? Or were they figments of our imaginations, spurred on by legends and blurry photos? As more reports continued to pour in, it became clear that the unknown might be closer than anyone thought. Whether it was the creature caught on film in Michigan, the eerie figure in Woods' footage, or the strange sightings around the world, one thing was certain: the mystery was far from over. Every new clue, every unexplained encounter, added to the growing fascination with what might be lurking in the most remote and hidden parts of our planet. Caught in 4K. On 2 different occasions, Woods had caught sight of a tall, shadowy figure moving through the trees, gliding with an eerie smoothness that didn't match any animal he was familiar with. His first thought was that it might be a poacher, or maybe a wildlife photographer trespassing on the land. But after checking with the landowner and finding out that no one had permission to be there, the mystery grew even deeper. Feeling both curious and unnerved, Woods decided to take matters into his own hands. He set up a fake campsite in the same spot, hoping to lure the strange figure back again. Although he didn't see anything with his own eyes, his cameras picked up unsettling, eerie noises throughout the night. These strange calls echoed through the forest, unlike anything Woods had ever heard before. On top of that, Woods had frequently come across unusual signs: broken branches, strange markings on trees, and other subtle clues that suggested something large and powerful was moving through the woods. As news of his experience spread, local enthusiasts began to wonder what exactly Woods had encountered. Was it really Bigfoot? Or could there be something else lurking in the shadows of the forest? While many were quick to link the strange sounds and sightings to Bigfoot, the question remained unanswered. As the colder fall nights settled in, these strange occurrences continued to happen, particularly around the start of deer hunting season. Then, another unexplained event shook the community. A seasoned hunter, highly skilled in tracking wildlife, managed to capture footage of a massive monkey-like creature moving between the trees. The creature's size, shape, and stance were unlike any known animal in the region. Stunned by what he had witnessed, the hunter shared his footage with experts for analysis. After a careful examination, the experts confirmed the video showed no signs of tampering, which only fueled the ongoing debate. The hunter's footage sparked curiosity and raised more questions. Could these creatures be proof of something long hidden, now emerging in the most remote parts of the world? Or were these just cases of mistaken identity, misunderstood creatures in the wild? In late 2021, a video posted on a YouTube channel called NVTV caught the attention of Bigfoot fans worldwide. Filmed in the dense forests of Idaho, the video seemed to show Bigfoot in remarkable detail. For once, this wasn't another blurry clip. You could clearly see the outline of its body, the thick texture of its fur, and its immense size, offering a rare, clear glimpse of the elusive creature. The video stirred up excitement and wonder, as people questioned whether this could finally be the proof they had been waiting for. As more people viewed the footage, the debate between believers and skeptics only intensified. Was this truly the long-sought-after evidence of Bigfoot, or just another unexplained mystery waiting to be debunked? Each sighting, each video, brought us closer to uncovering the truth. But at the same time, the line between myth and reality only seemed to blur more. But this wasn't the only video that got people talking. Bigfoot night camera. On February 12, 2022, a YouTube user named Mr. Man shared a video called Bigfoot night camera. This footage, taken with a night vision camera, showed a large, muscular figure standing alone in the cold night. The figure swayed slightly, as if adjusting to its surroundings, before disappearing into the darkness. Its size and strong movements made it hard to believe it was fake. Unlike many other Bigfoot videos, this one didn't look staged. The creature seemed real. But that wasn't the weirdest part. Both videos left people with more questions than answers. Was this really Bigfoot, or just a clever trick? Either way, these videos added to the mystery of creatures that might still be hiding in the wild parts of our world. To understand why people are so fascinated by Bigfoot, we need to look at its history. In 1967, Roger Patterson and Robert Gimlin filmed what many believe is the first video of the creature near Bluff Creek in Northern California. This famous footage got people interested in Bigfoot, a legend that still sparks debate today. While riding their horses, they suddenly saw a strange figure walking along the riverbank. Patterson quickly jumped off his horse and captured what became one of the most famous pieces of evidence in the search for unknown creatures. The footage shows a large, hairy figure with a long stride and a unique way of walking. At one point, the creature looks back at the camera before disappearing into the woods. This figure, now called Patty, has become a symbol of Bigfoot sightings worldwide. But stories about Bigfoot didn't start there. Long before Patterson and Gimlin, people talked about giant ape-like creatures in North America. One of the earliest and most dramatic stories happened in 1924 on Mount St. Helens. A group of miners searching for gold reported being attacked by what they called ape men. They heard strange noises outside their cabin and saw large, hairy figures watching them from the trees. That night was terrifying. The creatures threw rocks at the cabin and tried to break in. The miners shot back into the darkness and locked themselves inside until the attack ended. This event, now known as the Battle of Ape Canyon, has become an important part of Bigfoot folklore, linking the creature to the mysterious forests of the Pacific Northwest. And the stories keep coming. In 2016, in Bailey, Colorado, Scott Yeoman heard strange noises outside his house late at night. When he looked out, he saw a large, hairy face that looked almost human staring back at him. At first, he thought it was a bear, but after looking closer, he realized it was something different. He grabbed his gun, but by the time he got back, the creature was gone, leaving him scared and confused. It's not just individuals who see these things. One time, a group of tourists hiking in a dense forest mistook a large, shadowy figure for a tree or bush. But as they got closer, the figure moved, proving it was real, another sighting of Bigfoot. These experiences, happening in different places and seen by many people, keep the legend of these mysterious creatures alive, hiding somewhere in the vast forests of North America. What do you think? Myth or a mystery?